Hey guys, this is Whitney Howell, and I'll be talking with you about the evaluation I did on the City of Frisco fiscal year 2014 annual budget. The Government Finance Officers Association, also known as the GFOA, has a Distinguished Budget Presentation Awards program. It was created in 1984 in order to help state and local governments to put in order budget documents of high quality. This type of high quality work will allow those budgets to reflect guidelines that were established by the National Advisory Council on Local and State Budgeting, and it also recognizes those certain governments that succeeded in achieving these goals, which results in them receiving the Budget Presentation Award. The City of Frisco has actually been awarded this award for 5 years now, since 2008, and is on their 6th year to receiving the award. And within this GFOA criteria guide, there are 6 main categories, which are Introduction and Overview, Financial Structure, Policy and Process, Financial Summary, Capital and Debt, Department Information, and Department-wide Criteria. Within these 6 main categories, there are 27 subcategories. 24 of these passed as outstanding and 3 passed as proficient. Introduction and Overview is the first category, and it covers the table of contents, strategic goals and strategies, short-term organization factories, priorities and issues, as well as budget overview. The table of contents I found to be one of the most important aspects of the budget. It is made to be proficient on the electronic version, and it actually coexists with the online numbering system. So the page numbers actually work well together online as well as when you print it out. It's easy to use and it's understandable. For example, the City of Lufkin actually, their 2013 fiscal year budget, if you look at it online, their page numbers do not go together very well. Financial Structure, Policy, and Process is the second category. This involves an organizational chart, and this chart actually I found to be very intriguing because the City of Frisco put their citizens at the very top of the list above the mayor. This category at its entirety also helps one to understand the structures that are integrated within the City of Frisco's budget as a whole. Financial Summaries is the third category, and it discusses the structure of the city's financial status. All but one of these subcategories passes as outstanding. One subcategory was lacking a definition, which caused it to be determined as proficient. Another aspect of this category are the revenue sources. For the general fund revenue, the city's largest revenue source is ad valorem taxes. It brings in over $42 million, which is 40.6% of the total general fund revenue sources. These are known as property tax, and since of 2013, the property tax hasn't been raised. It is stayed at 0.46191 per every $100 of assessed value. Ad valorem taxes are determined by 2 major factors, which is the total assessed value established by the Central Appraisal Districts of Collin County and Denton County in Texas, and the tax rate established by the City of Frisco's City Council. Like I said, in 2013 to 2014, the tax rate did not increase, and because of this, they're actually trying to maintain 2 goals, which is to maintain services without an increasing tax rate, and they're trying to fund operational increases that are due to the increasing demands created by the growth of the population. Another major source of revenue is projected from the other taxes category, which involves sales tax, beverage tax, franchise taxes, which are electric, phone, cable, and gas. And these 3 taxes combined bring in over $43 million. Sales tax has actually increased in just 1 year by 13.2%. Another revenue source for the City of Frisco is enterprise funds, and that includes water, sewer, engineering services, and other, which is interest, any damages or repairs, miscellaneous issues, or transfers that they may do. The water actually brings in over $39 million, and that's over half of all the combined sources in the enterprise funds. Sewer brings in $20 million, as Other brings in $2 million, and engineering services comes in last with $700,000. As for the financial health of the entity, the tax rates have been maintained at the same level from last year. Their assessed values increased from last year by 4.52%, and the overall increase in taxable value is 7.85%. The next category is actually capital and debt. And here I have posted a picture of the general fund expenditures, and this is actually broken up into different departments as percent of totals. And as you can see, the fire and EMS down below and police are both holding the most percentage of expenditures. And as you can see as well, later on we'll actually talk about the charts and graphs and how they're eye-catching and color-coded, and this is just one example of that. The next category is document-wide criteria section. This is one of the most important sections to me as a reader of the budget and evaluator of the budget. I believe that this category is kind of the glue to any budget because to me it holds it all together. It includes statistical and supplemental section, a glossary, charts and graphs, and understandability and usability. This budget is actually very understandable and usable, especially due to the table of contents, which was discussed earlier. The common citizen is actually able to read and assess the City of Frisco's budget on their own. The statistical and supplemental section actually gives great detail into the financial structure of the City of Frisco. It also goes into detail in the charts and graphs, and that allows for the charts and graphs to actually coincide with the information that's being portrayed in the actual budget. It's eye-catching and inviting, and a budget that's well put together allows for the ability to back up the facts and data being portrayed. That way there's more credibility. As noted before, tables, charts, and graphs throughout the entire budget are all color coordinated. They're brightly colored, eye-catching, as you saw earlier. They're easy to read and connect the information, and they are also formatted properly, so whenever you do go online and zoom in, you're actually able to read everything successfully. Now, I actually got to interview a professional that handles the budget. She's the Assistant Financial Director, Jennifer Hunt. Her main area that she expressed was her value that she places on the citizens, and just as before with the organizational chart, it proves that the City of Frisco actually does place the citizens at top, even above the mayor and the city manager and all of the other professionals. She explained that the revenue that they receive actually goes out to those departments who need it most. City Council will hold a meeting where the departments can come forth and actually discuss what they request for the year, and once those are actually determined, they prioritize the departments in order to see who actually needs the money more and where it would actually benefit better for the city. They strive to have a community that focuses on creating a lifestyle for their citizens to be able to live, work, and play. She continually just expressed her importance that she put on the citizens. Areas that I find need some sort of improvement in this budget are the glossary. Although the glossary actually helped in defining the technical terms found within the budget and non-technical definitions, there were still some issues, such as areas that were proficient within each of the 6 categories. Usually those issues related back to the definitions were missing from the budget, and they weren't even in the glossary as well. So the glossary can definitely have more technical words described within it, such as capital expenditures, which it was supposed to be defined within the debt and capital section. And ways to actually mitigate these types of issues, I believe bringing in a common person to evaluate the budget would actually give them a better feel for how the budget is seen in the eye of a citizen. Since they do place such value on the citizens, I believe that that would be something very important that they should do. Ms. Hunt actually expressed her semi-annoyance with this reporting system that they use. Their reports are actually not comprehensive enough, which means that they actually have to bring in a system called Crystal Reports to help them with their reporting. And a way that I see to mitigate these issues, just by evaluating the budget as a whole, I see that more training is definitely needed with the budget process and the creation of it and the evaluation of it. So definitely more training. This type of situation can be dealt with by bringing in people who do know what they're doing in order to train and retrain those who are still trying to learn. Now, through this evaluation, I have actually discovered that it does not necessarily mean just because you have a proficient evaluation and a great budget, it doesn't mean that you'll actually have proficient professionals. A well-rounded budget does not mean the professionals will be just as great. I actually tried contacting multiple professionals within the city of Frisco, and it was very, very hard to get in contact with them, although that they place a high importance level on the citizens. I assumed that they would get back to me in a professional manner. However, I contacted the city manager, 2 assistant city managers, and the assistant finance director many times by email and phone. I received a quick and very, very helpful response from the assistant finance director, Jennifer Hunt, who, as you could see through this presentation, gave me a ton of information that was very useful. Eventually, I received a response from one assistant city manager saying that he couldn't be any help to me, and he responded with sending my email to 3 other people who I had already emailed and contacted and heard no response from. A day later, I actually received an email response from the city manager and the assistant city manager asking me to email them questions. They were super excited, actually. Through their email, they were telling me how important it was that I was emailing them and how great it was to hear from me. After I sent them my questions, I never heard anything back from them. I emailed them a couple of times to touch base, but still no response. So, finally, I emailed Ms. Hunt a few more times, actually, to get more information from her, and I actually received an email back from the city manager and the assistant city manager saying that they had no more opinions than Ms. Hunt did and that she had already answered everything as they would have. So they basically just piggybacked off of everything Ms. Hunt discussed with me, which was very disappointing because I was really hoping to get more professional input from a first-hand primary source. However, that did not happen. But that is the end of my slideshow. Now, this presentation actually brought to my attention a few other things. The City of Frisco's budget actually does represent and coexist with how their city is run. Their entire budget was very outstanding, well put together, easy to read and use and understand, and it does definitely coexist with how they are as a city. And I hope you enjoyed my presentation.